Well, folks are interested in talking about this case, and so am I. And we're going to go back to Allie, Fredericksburg, Virginia, the great WMAL. Yes, Allie, go ahead.
Hi. So I guess my thing that I was curious about driving home really is, as somebody who serves in our armed forces, trust me, I completely understand that there needs to be heavy regulation on travel. That's kind of a necessity. But as an American, I'm also so honored and humbled by our country's history as an asylum. Give us your tired, deported.
Hold on. We don't have a history as an asylum for everybody. We have rules. Rules not only apply to American citizens, they apply to people who want to come here. The Constitution is not extraterritorial. There's 7 billion people out there, Allie. And I bet 5 billion of them would like to come to the United States. It doesn't work that way. We're a sovereign nation state. We have rules. And if the President of the United States and General Kelly, now the Secretary of Department of Homeland Security, do not believe that we can vet people coming into this country properly and that we need a respite from certain countries, then that is perfectly legitimate. And, Allie, let me remind you, as you read from the Statue of Liberty, that the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, many, many immigrants came through there, and they had to pass tests. And if they were ill and had certain diseases, they were turned away. If they didn't have money to take care of themselves, they were turned away. If they didn't have a place to live, they were turned away. So the bigger the country has gotten and the more sophisticated the country has gotten, our borders have never been wide open like this. And so the President of the United States, as your Commander-in-Chief, has a responsibility to make absolutely certain he's doing everything possible to protect the people in this country. That's his job, not to ensure that people overseas suddenly have constitutional rights and a right to come to America.
I couldn't agree more. I have friends in boot camp that earned their citizenship through those testings. I know how important that is. And I do, like I said, agree in a heavy regulation, but I also think that there's a good chance we should reevaluate, unbiased, as hard as that is, which countries we put a ban on, not just countries that weren't.
Well, let's go through the countries. Let's go through the countries. Well, Libya doesn't have a government. Allie, let's go through the countries one by one and stop talking in generalities, okay? Libya doesn't have a government. How are we supposed to vet people from Libya? Yemen doesn't have a government. How are we supposed to vet people from Yemen? Iran is an enemy state. We have to rely on Iran for information to vet people from Iran. And I could go on. And what our government's trying to figure out under this president is, how do we vet these people? So all these arguments you're making aren't on point. We have a history of immigration in this country. We also have a history of deportation. We have a history of being very selective about what refugees we take into this country and so forth. And there's a reason for it. Not because we're bad people, not because our presidents are stupid, but because they're trying to figure out the best way to protect us. You realize for much of our history, we decided what countries we would accept immigrants from. And the reason we did that is the purpose of immigration, believe it or not, is not to help the immigrant. The purpose of immigration is to improve American society. That's the purpose of immigration. Let me repeat it. The purpose of immigration is not to promote the immigrant. The purpose of immigration is to promote American society. Do you ever hear any of these candidates talk about it? You'll never hear Obama talk about it. He hates American society. No, you won't. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about this over and over again, and I've written about it. Apart from the last 50 years or so, we used to have decades of strict immigration limitation. So we would, in essence, take inventory. Who's here? What are they doing? Are they assimilating? We don't do that anymore. And when you say we ought to do that, you're attacked, not just by Democrats, by Republicans. And not just by Republicans on the Fox News channel, Republicans in some of these pseudo-conservative websites. You're attacked. There's something wrong with you. And yet they are ahistorical, and we are perfectly within the tradition of American history.